Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi Chulin Mem Hey. The title is, are we more strict in Shechita today than we were during the Talmudic times? So the Gemara goes ahead and says, that it gives a list of which kinds of issues with animals are considered to be treif, a broken bone, a hole in the puncture in the lungs, etc. And that's the list. So we certainly don't add on to that list. And the Gemara also says, and the Shulchan Aruch paskins this way, that we don't assume that there's a problem with any of these organs. We do shechita on an animal, there's a chazaka that the organs are all intact. The only exception is the lungs. By the lungs, we say that has to be checked because we don't have an assumption that the lungs are intact. There might be a problem. And therefore, you need to check the lungs, which is what everyone does. So if that's the case, do we need to check any other parts of the animal? You'll say, well, it seems not. The Gemara says as a chazak, everything is fine except for the lungs. Yet we know by chickens, the tzomet hagidim, by the legs, those are checked in many hashgachot. You'll see the skin totally ripped off, and there was checking that went on. Now, why? Why not rely on the chazaka, the assumption it's fine, like the Gemara said? So here's where things get complicated. Because what if someone says, what if the rabbis say that, you know what? Today, the way the animals are handled, and because of the transportation, and because of the different shots that they are given, there's certain parts of the animal now that may very well be broken because they're mishandled. And when the Gemara says there's a chazak and Shulchan Aruch is a chazak, and the only thing you need to check is the lungs, but everything else is intact, that was based on the mitzias, on the case, on the facts, that the animals were handled in a more gentle way. They stayed on the farm, they were born on the farm, they lived on the farm, and they were killed on the farm. They were shechted on the farm. But now they're transported all over the place, and they're handled or mishandled or manhandled. And therefore the mitziut, the facts have changed to create this new stringent halacha that we need to check the tzomet hagidim. So that's why you're going to find by some chickens it's ripped open. There's a lot of checking that went on, and others you won't find that. Because one group is saying there's new facts and we have to look into it more. Well, it's saying, listen, we have a chazaka, and who says the facts have changed enough to ruin the chazaka? In terms of halacha l'maisa, what kind of chicken one should get that? Of course, everyone has to speak to that posek. Shalom.